Corey Davis back in the NFL, but not with the Jets, but with a rival potentially?
I'm going to lose my gosh-darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Every.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. And no, for those asking, this is not Browns Daily. I know you see the hat. This is a Syracuse hat. I'm wearing the Syracuse shirt. I just want to make that clear. We're talking Syracuse football on my radio show today, so I was just trying to get into form. So, no, you're not on the wrong show. I just wanted to address that right off the bat. This is still Boy Green Daily. And boy, a lot of intrigue happening here. Yesterday, Field Yates of ESPN shared that the Buffalo Bills hosted former New York Jets wide receiver Corey Davis for a workout. Now, there's no contract or anything of that nature yet, but it does obviously show some interest. The Bills are dealing with their wide receiver issues. Chase Claypool, the former Notre Dame Golden Domer, is out for the season. So, they're dealing with a couple of injury issues there. And Corey Davis. Now, I know Corey Davis is an incredibly divisive guy among Jet fans. There's no question about it. Absolutely no question about it. Some people are like, yeah, bring Corey Davis back. The other half of the people are saying, I know, he sucks and is always injured. But the thing that is kind of interesting is how would you feel if CD was playing for Bills Mafia? But before we even get to that potential question, we'll open up the phone lines. We're also supposed to have a guest. We'll see if Will Parkinson joins us here on Boy Green Daily. I'll leave it open for him if he does indeed pop on here on the show. But let's try to walk through all this. So Corey Davis, I think I told this story. I found out Corey Davis was retiring when I was on a cruise ship last year. That was a wonderful experience. So someone who's never been on a cruise before, it's wonderful. It's hard for me because I'm always to my phone for NFL news and Jets news and stuff. So it's hard to throw my phone in the ocean essentially and not worry about things unless we docked, which we did before the cruise ship came out of Boston. But before we went back to Boston, one of the final stops was it stopped in this place in Maryland or something, and they docked. And so I was just getting served mojitos and things of that nature. And suddenly Wi-Fi re-entered the conversation. And that was part of the equation, which was very nice. And then I get a ding, Corey Davis retiring. I'm like, what in God's green earth? What did I miss over the last week? So Corey Davis randomly retires at the end of August, right before the season. But when Robert Saleh, thanks to the One Jets Drive crew, which, by the way, I still got to check out that episode this week. I'm falling behind the baseball and all this other jazz. That's neither here nor there. But One Jets Drive had a video on Saleh as he broke the news to the team. And he says, guys, Corey Davis is stepping away, but keep him in your hearts and all this stuff and call him up and let him know. And he indicated, Saleh, at the time in August, that the door's not completely closed on Corey Davis. He's not retiring and walking off into the sunset. He's retiring, but there's a chance he comes back. That's what Saleh said. The immediate moment when we learned of Corey Davis's exit, which was kind of all right, that's kind of weird, but all right, let's keep an eye on it. Then in the middle of the season, we heard rumors. Could Corey Davis come back? And sort of similar to Aaron Rodgers, who would only come back if Corey Davis would only come back if the Jets were in contention. Same for Aaron Rodgers, that they would only come back, return if it was legitimate. So it doesn't come back. The Jets obviously, as we all know, unfortunately, we're not in the playoffs or anything of that nature, so they didn't come back. So we get to this offseason. So because Corey Davis retired, the Jets held his rights. That's what happened. The Jets held his rights. When you retire and you still have time in your contract, your rights are owned by the original team, which are the New York Jets. And apparently Corey Davis requested of the Jets, hey, Jets, this offseason, can you release me from my rights? Jets are like, huh? What? Yeah. Corey Davis says, can you release me from my rights? I just want to explore free agency. There's a chance I come back, but I just kind of want to look around. The Jets did this. The Jets said yes. Why they said yes is beyond me. Now, I see NY Jets FL calling him stonehands and things. I'm not saying Corey Davis is Jerry Rice. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying if you have someone's rights and you have a chance to get something for Corey Davis, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Just being a good guy, which I guess the Jets were doing, and I'll explain in a second. There's also an article in the YouTube description down below. But the Jets were apparently just being good guys. Said, sure, Corey Davis, go on. Go figure out your life, whatever you want to do. Sure, we release you from your rights. You're a true street free agent. Go wherever you want to go. Now, the reason why I bring it up is you guys may remember this, but if you hold someone's rights and they retire and they want to come back, you can, of course, trade their rights somewhere else. Here's an example. And again, I'm not comparing the players. I thought that was pretty obvious when I wrote it in the piece, but let me be even more obvious here on the show. I'm not comparing the player I'm about to mention to Corey Davis, obviously. One's a Hall of Famer. One is just a veteran receiver who's just been around, okay? So again, not comparing the players, just comparing the situations. Rob Gronkowski was with the New England Patriots. And after the 2018 season, he said, I've had enough of football. God bless. I'm retiring. He's in the middle of his contract with the Patriots. He retires. A couple years later, Tom Brady says, you know what? I'm playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Woohoo! That's the story in 2020. I'm playing for Tampa Bay. Gronk goes, you know what? I don't think I'm done yet. I want to play. And New England goes, well, we hold your rights, buddy. So Tampa Bay, if they wanted Gronk, had to trade for him. And guess what happened? They traded his rights. And I understand Gronk is a far better player than Corey Davis. There's no question about it. But if you could get a 7th-round pick, that'd be more than nothing. We just saw the Cowboys and Giants agree to a trade where they're swapping picks, and the Giants get a slightly better pick. They switch a 7th for a 6th. And sometimes people say that's incremental, but think about all the things that have happened. Think about all the picks the Jets have made in some of these latter rounds, the difference of a Michael Carter the 2nd and the 5th versus a Hamza Nasser-Lardine in a 6th round. You understand what I mean? So every pick matters. So if you could get a pick, why wouldn't you? So anywho, I go back to the Gronk thing real quick. Is that the Bucs wanted him. Patriots had his rights. So the Patriots traded him. The Patriots slapped a 7th-round draft choice in Gronk to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in exchange for a 4th-round pick. Not too shabby. I don't know what Corey Davis would have possibly warranted on the open market. Is it a 7th, a 6th, a 5th, a 4th? I got no friggin' clue. All I know is you probably would have gotten something for Corey Davis. Yet you released him from your rights to be a good guy, and now there's a chance he plays for your division rival, the Buffalo Bills, which, again, that contract is not official yet. But there's a chance he plays for the Buffalo Bills, and you get zip and pip for old Corey Davis. Now, again, I'm not worried about Corey Davis by any means, but, like, the heck? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. Also, here's the other thing I don't necessarily get. So, according to Rich Cimini this offseason, right? So, Jets release Corey Davis from his rights. They release his rights, so he's a free agent. Rich Cimini says back in March, when all this happened, that Corey Davis wanted to find a place closer to home. That's very important to Corey Davis as he continues or tries to continue his NFL career. His home is in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so MetLife, New Jersey, New York. Okay, that seems pretty far. New Era Field, Buffalo. How close is that? And that's a rhetorical question because I already have the answer. So, again, I guess technically speaking, Buffalo is a little closer to his home than New Jersey, but not by much. Buffalo to Nashville is 698 miles or a 10-hour and 42-minute drive. I doubt he has to drive. New York, New Jersey, a.k.a. MetLife Stadium to Nashville, is 883 miles or a 13-hour and 26-minute drive. So it's an extra $1.80 on the mileage. But I think we could both agree that regardless of the fact that Buffalo is slightly closer to his home, that's not exactly what I think he thought he was talking about when he said closer to my home. We thought, like, I don't know, the Tennessee Titans, who, I don't know, drafted him with the 5th overall pick. Okay, you want to play for the Titans? Okay, that makes sense, I guess, way back when. But, like, what the hell? Zebo says his vacation home is in Buffalo. If it is, I question the vacation home. What the heck? So, anywho, it just seems a little odd. My question is, what the hell happened between the Corey Davis and the New York Jets? So, obviously, when Corey Davis initially retired in August, Salah said, but we'd love him back. Then when this story comes back up, Salah speaks at the annual league meeting. He says, our door will always be open for Corey Davis. And there have been moments this offseason, and all us Jet fans know that we could have used wide receiver depth at certain points this offseason. Mike Williams looks like he's coming back faster than ever, so it looks great. So it's not really a crazy conversation now, but we didn't have Malachi Corley a couple months ago. Mike Williams was an uncertain guy. Corey Davis, in theory, would have been a great fit at the time for this team. Yet, despite Sauer saying, oh, open arms, we'd love to have him, and Corey Davis saying, I want to come back, he applied for reinstatement, to the National Football League. So Jets were open to having him. He wanted to continue his NFL career, but not with the Jets. I'm just curious, what the hell happened? And yes, Derby, you're right. No room, no room for Davis now on the Jets roster. Sorry. Yeah, clearly there's no room for Corey Davis on the Jets roster now, but I'm just kind of curious what the hell happened. Danny in real life, our favorite Buffalo Bills fan, chimes in. Josh Allen turns Jags, a.k.a. for those at home, just a guy, into All-Pros, i.e. Cole Beasley. Yeah, I heard Sal Capaccio say, who covers the Buffalo Bills, he's their sideline reporter, WGR 550. He said he thought he wanted Corey Davis back in 2017 because he thought he'd be a star in Buffalo. Now, I don't know how he feels about that now, but we'll keep an eye on that. Corey Davis, to understand Corey Davis, he never lived up to the hype. Yeah, I did get a little choked up. I get a little emotional when I talk about Corey Davis. Understandably so. He's a former 5th overall pick that did not live up to the hype. But he's a guy that is supposed to be, incredibly tough catches and things of that nature. And there's just a lot of drops and a lot of injuries. That's the Corey Davis story, unfortunately. Like, he'll drop a basic slant, and then he'll catch some crazy ass pass. It just, there's no consistency, which were issues. And obviously, he didn't live up to the hype of the 5th overall pick. Obviously, out of Western Michigan, and he didn't live up to his contract of $37.5 million with the Jets. And Terrence, maybe it's just as simple as that. We say, what happened between Corey Davis and the Jets? Jets said that they'd take him to compete for a roster spot. And he says, no, thanks. But Terrence Hill says, part of our Boy Green Coffee Club, Davis got upset when Lazard got the $10 million a year. And maybe that's just as simple as it is. Alan Lazard gets paid. He's like, the hell? I'm right here. Although if he was, aware, whatever the word is, conscious, you would understand he's coming off a rough year and that they need more help with Aaron Rodgers coming in. But still, it's still kind of crazy that even if you're upset about the Lazard thing and you're kind of throwing a temper tantrum about that, like, what the heck? You're playing with Aaron Rodgers, for God's sakes. Wouldn't that be awesome? It's too bad. Well, again, the thing beyond football, he was dealing with, from what we understand, some level of personal issue, which was part of the reason that he walked away from the game. But obviously now he's trying to come back. It's just interesting. So we will see. We will see if he indeed does continue his career in the NFL. But we'll see. Possibly we might see him twice a year with the Buffalo Bills. It was just a workout. We'll see. But a very interesting workout. Very interesting workout. So we'll see if he ends up in Buffalo. Again, we'll see if at some point Will Parkinson joins us on the show. We're 15 minutes in. I don't see him. So for now, we'll just open up the phone lines and go over there. But yeah, I thought the Corey Davis thing was very interesting. Of course, we also have the joint practice today, so stay tuned. I believe that's a morning affair. So thankfully, they didn't do it at the same time as Boy Green Daily. Thank you New York Jets and Carolina Panthers for that. I really appreciate it. But I believe that joint practice starts at 9:15 a.m. according to people in Carolina. We will have a show with Woody coming up at 3:00. So I hope you guys can check that out. We will be giving you so we have a little bit of a different show. We'll be giving you all the joint practice conversation, Jets Panthers stuff coming up a little later today. So hopefully you guys, like I said, can check that out. All right, let's go ahead and we'll open up the phone lines here on the program. Seems like we don't have a lot of Corey Davis fans in the chat, which is fine. It's fine. I've gone back and forth on Corey Davis in my life. I've gone back and forth, but to be honest, I love our wide receiver room right now. I think Corey Davis would have given us some more security earlier this offseason when there were questions or when there wasn't a Malachi Corley, when Mike Williams' health was still very much in question. And it is in question now, but seeing him cutting around the field on the practice field gives me a lot of confidence like, okay, I think we're going to be just fine. So the call-in line is now there. It is the pinned comment on YouTube. Just click that, and you can video call into the show. So feel free to do that, and we can bring you on the program. Just try to be in a relatively quiet place, and we'll bring you up on the show. So feel free to do so. Also, 300 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. And I'd love to play some chimes today. So let's see if we can get some new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And a big shout-out here I want to give to our new emoji members. We have Easy OC, and of course, Ricky New York. These wonderful emojis, along with so many others. And again, if you remember the Boy Green Coffee Club, of course, you can unlock any of those emojis. Feel free to utilize them throughout the show. You get the loyalty badge, of course, if you join in on the line as well. If you join in the Boy Green Coffee Club, you get the loyalty badge. You get the emojis, plus access to our Discord channel, where the party continues well beyond 7:30 in the morning, which I truly appreciate. So, yeah, feel free to get that party rocking and rolling, baby. Yeah, we're up to, let me see here. How many emojis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 emojis. Unbelievable. And shout out to the group. Like I said, we're still another, 45 away from the next one. So it might be a hot second before we get there. By the way, also, quick little nugget. I am scheduled to have Zach Rosenblatt on the show tomorrow. Apparently, there's supposed to be some big news that he is going to share. I think it has something to do with the Can't Wait podcast. So looking forward to that. And then my father joins me both Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be great as well. Hop on Pop, double dip edition. Like I said, we're supposed to have Will Parkinson on the show today, but not sure if he's coming. Not sure if he's arriving. But we'll see if that does indeed happen at some point. Yeah, there's some good Corey Davis stuff in here. All right, let me see. Yes, we never talked about this, Dave Breeka, but I'm glad you brought it up. Jets supposedly had Jarvis Landry in for a workout. He has a much better resume than Corey Davis. Let me see the numbers. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I know Jarvis had some really good seasons. I think you might be. Oh, yeah. Actually, without even looking, definitely. I remember a 100-catch season on his docket. That's way better than Corey Davis. Oh, yeah, he destroys Corey Davis. He had 3,000-yard seasons. He had multiple 100-catch seasons. So, oh, yeah, Jarvis Landry destroys him. Now, I'll have to compare to see if Corey Davis has had more success recently, but still, over the breadth of his career, his first 7 years of his career are all very, very decent. Very decent, if not good. They're not all Pro Bowl. Some of them are really good. Some of them are in that. Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler in 5 straight years, it looks like. So some of these numbers are just okay. Like, again, his most recent, significantly productive season, he had 52 catches, 500 yards, 2 touchdowns. The year before, 70 catches, 840 yards. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's, in terms of the production and possibly bringing him in, yeah, he's an interesting dude, for sure. It wouldn't have been a bad kick the tires kind of thing. I mean, Jarvis is kind of a possession guy, racks up a lot of receptions. I don't think, I'm not sure if he has any of the dynamicism anymore where he's doing crazy stuff. But yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, he's got a lot more on that. There's no question about it. All right, let's jump on over to the phone lines. Let's go to the immortal himself. That is Ricky New York live here on the program. What's up, Ricky? Is that a new
Hey, how
Jets
you
hat?
doing, Paul?
Is that a new Jets hat?
No, I've had this one for a little while. This is my Sauce Gardner hat.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to break out some sauce for Corey Davis this morning.
There you go. Nice.
Now, I like Corey Davis. Okay.
Okay.
However, I mean, you know, I was giving him I was all behind him when he stepped away, for personal reasons, because you got to take care of your health, your mental health, and your family first.
Of course.
However, now him wanting to come back and the way that he's completely ignored us, maybe he is pissed about the Lazard thing. And like I was saying in the chat, Corey Davis is probably like, shit, I could have dropped that many balls for 8 or 9 a year, I mean, I probably couldn't blame him, but now you're going to go and work out for the Bills, a division rival. That's not very tactful, but in all honesty, I think as Jets fans, if Corey Davis joins the Bills, we shouldn't hold it against him, provided he doesn't hold it against us when we whoop his ass twice a year.
Yeah, damn straight. I like it. I like that. Yeah.
And that's my outlook on the whole thing.
Yeah. It sounds about right. Again, I think I was in the same camp as you. You never know. I think it's just kind of a example of life that you never know what people are dealing with. So he walks away, you're like, damn. If he's walking away from at the time, right? Aaron Rodgers not hurt. This is an Aaron Rodgers season of like Super Bowl and God knows what else could possibly happen. And for him to walk away, like, damn, something must have been very serious in his life. So no question about it. But there's just been a lot of weird sense. So put that aside. Like, again, respect and everything. Go take care of your family. But everything else since has been very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, and I mean, and Corey Davis is a football player, and after having to put up with, Zach Wilson shit for a few seasons in a row, you would think that he'd be doing backflips to play with Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, that's definitely odd, but let him go up to Buffalo, and then he can be like standing there like, hey, I was open, as Josh Allen is running, trying to play hero ball and getting his head knocked off by Quincy. But well, whatever. To each their own. And I was thinking, and I've been thinking about this Reddick thing too. And
sure.
You know what? I'm 100% with the Jets. Why pay a guy that hasn't even went through a walkthrough, a single practice, a single anything with us when we've got guys that have been here, that we drafted. And it's a bad look, and like his press conference, he was kind of slick about it though. He's like, I can't wait to meet everybody that's in the building here today. He didn't say his teammates and shit, like,
right.
I've been really kind of dissecting that press conference a little bit. And, but you know what? Like right after we traded for him, I posted a tweet and it said, I was really pissed when we let Huff go. Huff was my guy. I tweeted the Jets every day for 2 off seasons in a row, demanding they pay him. And, Huff was my guy. However, at least I can feel good knowing that we're not going to see a drop in production. And Hassan Reddick liked my fucking tweet.
No way.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? If some way I'll figure out a way to get a screenshot of that. Or
you're going to have to do that now because, excuse me, Twitter has now made likes private, so you would have to show us your side of it now. It used to be I could just, which is what we used to do all the time. Likes. Oh, what has Devontae Adams like recently? Oh, look, Jet stuff.
Right.
Ooh, something's there. Right. So yeah, you'll have to find it if you can find it in your old tweets. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, I'll have to like scroll back in my notifications and see if I can find it. And but yeah, so I mean, dude, and that's the thing. He was like interacting with Jet fans, and then like I don't know, a week and a half later or something, he just did a complete about face, and it was weird. But he needs to stop listening to that agent because I know the agent's job is to get you paid and stuff. But dude, guess what? At this point, your agent has used a flawed strategy, and he's not getting you more money. He's losing with you what you've already got coming to you. Get your head out of your ass and get yourself in the building.
Yeah, that's a thing. Again, the money is lighting on fire, and every preseason game, again, the deeper we get into each week, he is losing massive ass chunks of money, man. He eventually, here's the thing, I just continue to rest my head on at night. He has to show up eventually, or he will forever be a member of the Jets. In terms of, we're speaking of rights earlier with Corey Davis, the Jets will forever hold his rights until he shows up. So he has to show up. He has no choice.
And the other thing is, guess what, Hassan? You look like a dumbass right now. You have got egg on your face. And I'll tell you what, if you just want to piss away money, I'll give you my Venmo, Hassan. And I'll help you save some face. I won't tell anybody about it. And you can just give me a big old chunk of what you're going to be missing, because I'll be more than happy to take it. Just trying to help. Just trying to help.
Yeah, you're a giver. We can respect that, Ricky. You're a giver. What a guy.
Well, in this case, I'll be a taker, but.
Yeah. That's right. Again, morning, I appreciate it. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, that's funny. Again, I just don't understand. I mean, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. I see first _ Jets. Whoop, that comment bumped. Didn't even work out for Chris Jones minus the fines. He ended up getting what he originally was slated for. Plus, I believe, I can't remember who said this. Was it Nick Faria, maybe? We've had a lot of guests on the show. But long story short, it might have even been Leger Duzable, actually. But regardless of who it was, the question was kind of like Chris Jones came out after and said he regretted like holding out because he just got fined up the wazoo and just got fined all over the place. He was like, geez, that sucked. So, you never know. Jared B says Hassan Reddick's over $2 million in fines now. God. And here's the thing. A lot of us have said it. My father said it, and a lot of our callers have said it. Like, if he sat out the entire year, let's go worst case scenario, and let's just say he blew off the Jets. Again, the Jets would hold his rights going into next year, so that doesn't make any sense. But let's say he did that. It would cost him more money than he would have made, because you get your money, according to the government, the $14.25 million, that's taxed. So he's going to get taxed on that whether he gets it or not. And then he's going to get fined and lose it and then pay more. So, like, it makes no sense. Dakota says Hassan Reddick will play the last 8 games of the season. By the way, if he does, that works out for the Jets. We just have a guy. That's going to be ready, hopefully, for the playoffs. We hope so. That'd be great. Great question here from Indy Jets. Hey, Paul, any idea what the NFLPA uses the fine money for? That actually goes to charities. Yes. So that's if you want to feel a little bit good, right? Like I'm sure Ricky would have liked that bag of money, and so would I. But that money actually goes to charities. Let me see if I can find the exact charity, but I do know it goes to charity. NFL fine money charity. 100%. I read this the other day. Yeah, there you go. The NFL divides up its collected fine money between the NFL Foundation, a nonprofit contributing to football communities throughout youth leagues, grant programs, and safety and coaching education, and the Professional Athletes Foundation, which helps out prior NFL players and their families who are in need. among others. So there you go. It all goes to a variety of charities. So, a little soft place in your heart, if that makes you feel any better about it. So, yes, Indy. Kudos to Reddick for being incredibly generous. Incredibly generous. I'm sure those charities appreciate it. Think about everyone else who's getting fined up the wazoo. Unbelievable. Yep. So, yeah, in the middle of all the fines, we're like, oh, what an idiot. At least some of that's going there. Another great question from R&R, a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Paul, does any of Reddick's salary count towards the cap while he's out? Absolutely not. It doesn't, R&R. As a matter of fact, right now, as he's on the did not report list, the Jets actually have his $14 million off the books, which means their current cap space is hovering in the $20 million range. So currently, his salary does not count. So if the Jets are like, you know what, F this, we're going to go sign another pass rusher, they absolutely could. One pass rusher that's off the board, let me give a little tip of the cap to Carl Lawson, who this morning, right before the show broke, Carl Lawson signing with the Dallas Cowboys. And I like Carl Lawson, the person. He's a fun guy. We were robbed that first season. We all know he looked like the second coming of Lawrence Taylor, apparently, and in a blown Achilles, and another blown Achilles in our recent past that destroys our hopes and dreams. So that one was a Debbie Downer. So no Carl Lawson reunion, it sounds like, on the horizon. They'd have to go in swim in different waters. Maybe Yannick Ngakoue, I believe, is still a free agent. They may have to go in one of those realms. I asked Nick Ferry of this. I think it was on the radio show earlier this week about it. And he said, like it'd be a last resort for them to just start swimming in other waters. But yes, so they have the money in their back pocket. Another great question. We've got a couple of really, really good questions here. I'm glad I could answer those. R&R, that's a good question. Let's go to Shadow Realm here. I love this question. Paul, from YouTube. So thank you to Shadow Realm. Also another member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. So let me, even though we don't have any new members yet, I'll play it almost to like call people in like Hunger Games. Membership action, perhaps. Shadow Realm. Paul, if you could guarantee one player's health for the entire season besides Rodgers, which Jet would it be? Well, like mid-question, I'm like, Aaron Rodgers. But if it's one guy besides Aaron Rodgers, that's a good question, Shadow Realm. Let me think on that for a second. Well, one name that immediately pops to mind, I'm not sure if this is my answer yet, but Tyron Smith, obviously. He has not had a fully healthy season since 2015. That would be terrific because that would close to guarantee Olu Fashanu doesn't come off the bench, but obviously he's cross-training at right tackle now, so that wouldn't completely guarantee it. He'd be up on the list. I mean, Garrett would be up there. Garrett has been incredibly healthy his first 2 years, knock on wood. He'd be terrific. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Sauce would be wonderful, for sure. Brees was fully healthy last year. That was nice. Yeah, I'm going to go. God, there's so many great guys, but yeah, the more it's Sauce. It's Sauce Gardner. Tyron Smith would be great. I should probably keep it on offense to protect Aaron Rodgers, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I would just hate to see this defense without Sauce, and I hope I never have to see it for the next 15 years. I hope Sauce is a Ring of Honor member and everything else. So yeah, absolutely. I hope that is Sauce. I do hope so. Oh yeah, baby. See, the chimes worked. We've got a member. Shout out to Jared B, baby, a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Here, who is our new member? It is Rick. Rick. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. You can also join our Discord channel. That link was just dropped in there as well. You get a loyalty badge by your name. You get access to the Discord. Plus, you unlock all the emojis, brother. So pay it forward. Let's see how many we can get on the show today. That would be terrific. So, but to that question, though, again, my gut says Tyron, and he would protect Aaron Rodgers, and that would unlock, and that would help with Brees Hall and others. But, yeah, I would settle on Sauce. There you go, baby. Another one. Here we go. Jared B gifted the last membership to another person, but there's another option. As first_state_Jets has done, he punched his own ticket to the dance. He is now a member, a card-carrying member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which, by the way, the link is in the YouTube description. You'll see join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. Click this link, bing, boom, bam, and you can punch your own ticket to the dance, baby. Welcome to the show, First State Jets. Appreciate you. Yes, pay it forward, baby. Join the club. We want to see more green. We want to see more green. I see First State Jets here. Got to get to work earlier, Boy Green. Usually I miss the live chat. All right. Well, that's all right, man. I appreciate you when you chime in when you can. And they keep coming. Shadow Realm now gifting a membership, baby. Tom Ruck, you are now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let's friggin' go. Okay. All of a sudden, we've got who started the fire or who let the dogs out? Who? Oh, Baja Men going on here. Who would have thought you got a Baja Men reference on August 15th at 8:05 in the morning? You're welcome. Booyah. Love it, baby. Okay, let's get the memberships. Let's continue for the memberships to flow, baby. All righty. Paul Likey. Let's go back here as we're waiting for more of those to hit. Dave Briga says Sasa Garrett have to be signed, no excuses. No doubt about it. I want them forever. FL Phil, Screaming Brees, that would be terrific. There's just so many, to be honest. I wish I could gift that power to everybody. Phil says Quinnen Williams. To me, I think he's an X factor. You think about defensive tackle 2, who is still a starter in our 4-3 scheme. Like, there's questions. Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas, a.k.a. Solly, go through the Likey Fotu, what have you. Like, there's a lot of questions. Like, you know what Quinnen is. If you take away Quinnen, you take away the heartbeat of the defense. So Quinnen is another great answer, for sure. For sure. I say Sauce, but some of you guys would go, well, Quantez and, Brandon Eccles. And I wouldn't say that those guys aren't, like, talented too, but that would be up there for sure. Dakota says Tyron Smith is still my favorite sign of this whole offseason. I remember people were giving me crap on Tyron. I saw the video because it came back up. I was at a laundromat, so personal story short that you guys don't want to hear. But at my house that I'm in right now, I've got a washer and a dryer. I rent this house. I've got a washer and a dryer. Well, the dryer crapped the bed, and it's been crapped the bed for like 9 months. So it's been out of commission, but our washer still works. So what I've been doing, I don't know if this is smart or whatever, I've been washing the clothes here and then going to a laundromat and drying the clothes. So I save some money because I don't have to wash them there, but I just have to lug these heavy-ass soaking wet clothes from point A to point B. Anywho, during free agency, I'm sitting I'm just sitting in a chair waiting for the clothes to dry. And I said to the gods, jumped on a video and put it on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. I'm like, gods, please, can you give us Tyron Smith? Because it unlocks everything else. If you get Tyron, like, the rest of the line is going to figure itself out. Because if you don't get Tyron, then you're going into the draft absolutely desperate for a left tackle. And we've seen what happens when that happens in years past. So I begged to the gods, please, Tyron Smith, please. And people were like, Paul, get over it. He's not coming here. And I'm like, I can say whatever I want. I can ask the gods for whatever. If they choose to give them to me or not is up to the gods. And they did give them to me. And yeah, he is he's my favorite son too, Dakota. I love Tyron Smith. I've respected him coming out of USC. Obviously, my dad's a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, so I've just seen a lot of Tyron Smith, and I've just been impressed. Again, a guy that puts his knee braces on his elbows because, normal elbow braces aren't big enough. Like, good Lord. Zebo, Zebo, I think your Boy Green Coffee Club membership ran out. You're going to have to renew that down below. But he asks, are we drafting 2 RBs to prepare the pipeline? Brees won't be with us as long as the other 2022 starts. That's possible that the Jets were thinking that high, but I don't think so. I think, quite frankly, the Jets just want to pound the rock this year, and they didn't like what happened last year with Dalvin and Izzy and stuff of that nature, so get guys that they feel. Get guys they feel can contribute. Dakota says, who has Madden 25? I only have NCAA college football 25. I have both, but my Madden game doesn't get unlocked till tomorrow, I believe. I have a standard edition. Yeah, and so I have both. I have college football 25 and Madden 25. I do have both. Okay. All right. I think I caught up on all the questions and the membership so far, so keep those flowing, baby. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to the phone lines. A couple of callers jumping on in here. Hopefully he's done with his breakfast. We got B-Mac here on the show. B-Mac, well, by the way, what were you eating? Anything good?
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, were you eating something? What were you eating? Anything good, I said?
Candy on my desk.
What kind of candy? What are we talking about here? What do we got?
Gummies.
Oh, gummies. Nice. Like, I can't, it's not quite, oh, what? Like gummy worms? Gummy what?
Gummy, lifesaver gummies.
Oh, yeah, those are good. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
yeah.
They got this kind and they got the purple kind. You know,
Oh, nice. Well, wow. Great taste. Great taste.
Yeah, kind of like Skittles.
Skittles? I love Skittles.
Yeah,
I love Skittles.
Yeah,
I don't have them a lot. I don't eat a lot of gummies or candy for that matter. I look at my desk. I don't. I normally eat them around Halloween, and that's really it. I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Yeah. They got the regular, and then they got the purple.
Ooh,
okay. Enough about candy talk.
I'm sorry. Yes, of course. Right.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Now I do want to. I've got two questions for you. One, of course, the second one is going to be a Rodgers question. You know that. But I'm going to say that for the second one. I'm going to go to the first one. And just about Hassan Reddick and the Jets front office. Do you have any regret that now the Hassan Reddick and now the Joe Douglas and the front office are going through this right now? Do you think that the Jets do you think the Jets front office and Joe Douglas should have signed Bryce Huff if they knew that they were going to go through this headache?
No, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And also, just real quick, I'll finish answering your question. I just had someone ask, can you renew your that's Zebo, can I renew my membership from my phone? You can. I just dropped the link in there. You can click that link I just dropped. You can renew here by clicking the link to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Now, to your point, BMAC, I do not regret it. I stand by the decision. I think Hassan Reddick is a better player than Bryce Huff. I like Bryce Huff, the person. He's been on my show. I've interviewed him. I've talked to him privately. I had a chance to develop a little bit of a relationship there, and I'm glad that Bryce Huff got his money with the Eagles. And if he was the only choice, there was no Reddick option, then okay, we could have a different conversation about the Jets keeping Huff, excuse me. But to me, when it was Huff or Hassan Reddick, I'm like, easy choice. We're competing for a Super Bowl right now. If we weren't competing for a Super Bowl right now, we're just some slap ass team in the middle somewhere, then okay, I guess maybe from that perspective we could go somewhere else. And by the way, it worked, baby. Zebo, welcome back to the Gastard Coffee Club. See, it's just that easy, baby. You are back. We back, baby. Okay, sorry, I keep getting distracted. Be back like a rat with shiny objects. But Zebo, welcome back to the show, baby. But to your point, no, I have no regret. I know some people could have hindsight 2020 look back and say, idiots, Jets should have, could have, would have done this. No, Hassan Reddick's a better player. Hassan Reddick's gonna show up. He's going to show up. And they say, oh, do you have a crystal ball or something? No, I have a common sense ball, okay? And this guy, if he wants to continue his NFL career, has to suit up for the gosh darn Jets. It's just that simple. So he is eventually going to show up. Does he miss a game or two? It could be. If he pushes it all the way, maybe. But he's still going to show up eventually because he has to show up. So no regrets whatsoever. I'm happy for Bryce. But Hassan Reddick, I wish he'd be here right now, obviously. And we're not. Let me rephrase this. I take no offense to your question. Your question's great because it's a good question. I'm just saying that I wish that question wasn't possible because Hassan Reddick was here. We all want him here and thus no storyline to address. But it is a good question with him not here of like, boy, should the Jets have done a different move? And remember, they considered different moves. They were hot and heavy for Jadeveon Clowney, who, by the way, they're going to see today, who ended up going to Carolina. Shaq Barrett, who they went after heavy, but he chose Miami, and he ended up retiring middle of the offseason. That would have been a nice kick in the groin to the Jets if they would have went after Barrett, signed him, and then he retires, and then they have no option. Imagine if that would have happened. That would have been really – now, there's where you get to regret. Jets miss out on Huff. They sign Shaq Barrett, and he retires middle of the offseason, and the Jets are like, oh, shit. Yeah, like that one is one that you can dunk on the Jets, and they look like an idiot. Yeah. So, no. Absolutely no regrets. I like what the Jets did. I know Hassan Reddick is kind of annoying to some people right now, but it's totally okay.
One thing that Joe Douglas did this offseason was the stupidest decision is letting JFM go. I think you should have kept JFM because the depth on the defensive line, you know what I mean? And like because let's say if Hassan Reddick doesn't show up and this team's linger, you know, and you know how injuries always plague the Jets. You know, we've seen it last year and the years before with this team. They usually get injured a lot, like they get hit by an injury bug. And it can come on the defense this time. You know what I mean? Like injuries, like you never know. You know, like, you know, you can always, you know, have bad luck. Last year was on the offense. This year can come on the defense, especially with the defensive line. And let's say if JFM goes down or Quentin Williams goes down, then your definitely D-line is screwed because the Jets D-line is on getting pressure and getting to the quarterback. And if you can't get to the quarterback, then your secondary is going to be exposed because there's only so long that they can cover people. And
it's a great point. It's a great point, B-Mac. I would just say this. Yeah, because I just looked it up. I wanted to see what JFM's new contract was with Denver because after he got traded, they agreed to a new deal. It's a 2-year deal for $15 million, $9 million guaranteed. We're talking about $7.5 million, which, with all due respect, is relative chump change. I wish the Jets would have figured it out because when they got Hassan and JFM temporarily, at least, were on the same team. And I went, oh, my goodness. We have too many guys, like in a good way. Like, wow, how are they going to figure all this out? This is a great problem to have. Terrific. And I wish they would have been able to figure it out. And once JFM got this deal, this 2-year, $15 million deal, a lot of Jet fans said, damn, like, why didn't he accept that with the Jets? And JFM said on Twitter, they didn't give me anything close to this. So the Jets didn't even try to get to that level. Apparently, they must have really insulted him with their offer to try to keep him. I would have loved to have him. Now, JFM isn't a perfect player by any means. He had a lot of bad penalties. Again, the pick six, Michael Carter II, where we would have beaten the Patriots, and maybe that entire season flips was because of JFM. He had that terrible roughing the passer. I was there for week 2, Jets-Cowboys last year, roughing the passer on Dak on 3rd down. Automatic first down. Cowboys score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The entire game changes. So, unfortunately, JFM has had some horrible penalties during his time here. So, I won't miss that. But the versatility, the teammates really loved him. That would have been really, really nice. So that part is unfortunate. But now the Jets are really high on Michael Clemens and other youngsters stepping up to the plate. We'll see if their confidence in those guys is overplayed or just. The season will determine that.
Well, the Michael Clemens one, look, I think that's a gamble, taking a bet on him,
sure.
In my opinion. But
yeah.
You know, I know, last year he didn't do he didn't do much last year, and so I think, maybe they see some, maybe the coaching staff sees something in him in camp that we don't see. And
obviously they must, because I didn't get to hear the coaches' interviews yesterday. Maybe that's on the website. I haven't checked it out yet. But Jeff Ulbrich was singing the sweet songs of Michael Clemens, saying, "Man, he looks like an every down player for us." And I'm like, phenomenal. These are the development traits that you want to see from this great coaching staff.
Yeah. So hopefully he can go and translate to the field. And
sure.
Like I said, eventually Hassan Reddick will show up, but if he's not there and you suffer again, I'm not wishing on injury or not speaking to existence, but if Quentin Williams goes down, or or Jermaine Johnson goes down, or one of your guys, and do you really have faith in Will McDonald to really pick up the production? And carry the slack?
I'm excited about him. I will say I'm excited. We've seen some pops, and I'm like, ooh. And again, he just didn't have PT last year, so he's going to have PT this year. So do the pops turn into more real things? Again, Jets operating with more leads and Aaron Rodgers, those kind of things. I'm really excited about him. I don't know, though, which is sort of like kind of scary, like, okay. This is happening. Like a little Christmas, vacation action there, or European vacation, or the Moose vacation, whichever movie that was. But this is crazy. I'm getting excited about it, but we got to see what happens.
Yeah. So I just hope that, so I think they should have kept Jay Event for.
Okay.
Now my second question, because I know you got calls, so I'm gonna hold you up.
Yeah.
But the second question, of course, is Rodgers. Now, obviously, you got the book out of the darkness, the mystery of Aaron Rodgers by Ian O'Connell.
Yes,
there's a lot of interesting points in that book. A lot of
I'm a couple chapters in. It's in my bag. I don't even have it displayed over here because I'm reading it, and I'm going to have Ian on the show. So I am. I'm a couple chapters in. It's really good so far.
Yeah. Obviously, Ian talked about it this week and promoted it this week. It comes out next week, but he was on a lot of different shows talking about it, and he brought up about Rodgers and his family, and that. Now I don't know have you read that part yet, but
there's only a brief mention of it at the beginning because apparently last year at the Lake Tahoe event is where Rodgers and his father embraced for the first time in like 10 years or something. But like all the behind the scenes of why they're estranged and everything, I think that's later in the book. So I've not gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, and then I guess again, I'm not trying to be like a celebrity talk guy, but with the whole Olivia Munn thing, I don't know.
I don't know what that is yet, so I'm interested. I've heard people, to your point, I've heard Ian O'Connor was on the Rich Eisen show. I heard that full interview. Again, I have not fully read the book yet, but in there, they were addressing this Olivia thing. Right now, here on August 15th, 2022, I have no idea what that even means. I have no clue at all, whatever that entails. So this book should be enlightening. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but with him and his family thing, I know, obviously this been going on for years and years. Hell, when he was in Green Bay, he's been estranged from his family. A lot of people, bring it up, and usually a lot of people joke about it and say that, or make jokes, or that's why Rodgers doesn't talk to his family. His family hates him. Again, we don't know. That's between him and his family. It's a personal matter. We don't know.
Okay.
It's speculation. But what do you think about him not talking to his mom and dad? You know what I mean? Do you think that's odd, or do you think it's just normal? People have family problems.
Yeah, without knowing the details of it yet, I would just say family matters. I think, as we can all agree, for everyone watching on the show, the callers that are waiting and everything, family things are complicated. And I would say my parents, we've had moments where things have been pretty intense, but I'll be honest, I love my mom and dad very much. Obviously, my dad joins me and will join me for both my shows this weekend, and that's an absolute pleasure and an honor. It's amazing. I can't believe not a lot of people get to bring their dad to work day is doing a show talking football. So I never take that kind of stuff for granted at all. And so no, love my family. It seems hard to believe that that someone could go 10 years because, like I said, once your parents are gone, they're gone. If there's unfinished business, there's no unfinished business to address outside of you and your God or at a gravestone or something, and that's very dark and grim. That's why, I don't know. It's hard for me to understand, but I'm not Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know.
Do you think that makes him a terrible person?
No, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why they're estranged. So no, I don't think I could just come out and say, "Oh, what a terrible guy! Not talking to your dad. What a scumbag." No, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on what could have happened between. I've got no idea. Maybe if I read something and then all of a sudden it's a lot worse than I think, then okay, maybe I have a different take. But no, as far as I know, no.
It's just a lot of like at the end of the day, it's just speculation. Is he said, she said, and
yeah, that's what I've heard anyway. Yeah,
I mean, I think his parents are kind of like I don't know, are kind of wrong for putting out their dirty laundry out in the public like that. You know what I mean? And I just
they both did interviews for the book. So apparently the parents, mother and father, both did an interview with Ian, and Ian flew to Malibu to speak with Aaron Rodgers. So all sides spoke for the book. So
I just think what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
Fair enough.
And fair enough. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of dumb for me to bring that up, but
it's deep. I like it. I mean, way to mix it up.
Yeah. It's just interesting. All right, Paul. I know you got people calling in, so thanks.
I appreciate that. Wow, that a lot to unpack there. No doubt about it. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines, baby. Terrence joins us here on the show. That'll be hard to follow up, Terrence, but Terrence, here we are.
You think it's going to be hard to follow that up?
I do not. No, I don't. I do not.
You guys don't
just
know
from an angle perspective of family and fatherhood and being gone for a decade, like not talking to him. Paul, is he a scumbag? I'm like, not sure. I have no idea.
I think when you guys get to know me, you're gonna realize not many things is gonna be hard for me to come on after.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
First of all,
yeah.
How you guys doing? How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, well, we're doing awesome, man. I mean, this is great.
All right, so I wrote down some notes.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so you started off with Davis working out with the Bills.
Yes. Yep.
And you got that beautiful orange Syracuse on. So I'm going to quote someone from Syracuse. I'm going to quote my man, Derek Coleman.
Ooh, DC. Okay.
So when Corey Davis is working out for the Bills, I'm going to say, whoop-de-damn do.
That's a good DC quote.
Do you remember that one? Do you remember that one? I do.
Yeah. That's good.
They were asking him about Kenny Anderson.
Yeah.
That he didn't make practice. And then they told him that he was at a strip club and he was like, well, whoop-de-damn do.
Yeah. I love that. Like, who gives a flying hoot? Like, that's great. I love that.
But if you watch the Hard Knocks,
because
it kind of got me too. If you watch the Hard Knocks when Corey Davis catches that touchdown, you can see the look on his face, like, whatever. When everybody came up to him to congratulate, like, what's the offensive coordinator's name again?
Nathaniel Hackett. When he's skipping over, like,
and then look at Davis. He's like, why'd you sign this guy then? You know what I mean? That's what it looked like to me.
Interesting.
And then he skips that year, which would have been his last year with the Jets.
Correct.
So he would have probably been a free agent now. So then he'll go work out for the Bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it looked like to me. Then you guys talked about Bryce Huff.
Yeah.
So let's go there.
Sure.
My opinion, Bryce Huff was on the team. They offered him a contract. He said, screw you. And so you want to screw us? Watch this. They draft McDonald. He goes, you want to draft McDonald? Watch this. He gets 10 sacks. You know what I'm saying? And then that's so the bridge was burnt right after he denied that contract they tried to give him. You know what I mean? So everybody keeps bringing that up. That's fine, but just it's over. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, it is. It's dead. And people do want to keep bringing that up for whatever the reason is. Again, he's gone. He's not thinking about us, I'm sure. He's counting his Benjamins in his bank account, and we've moved on to different matters. There's no doubt about it.
So if you take that story and put it to the story with Reddick, the Jets are learning. Yeah. Don't bring in a guy from nowhere and pay him a lot and expect the players on your team to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a learning experience, And I said this, take care of your own guys. And like I told you, I think my first call on your show was with you and your dad, and I asked you guys, people that a franchise draft, if you draft a guy, you should be able to pay whatever you want to keep him.
Yes, right. We talked about that. I agree with that take.
And free agents should have a cap. So each team should have like a whatever cap that you can sign free agents. And once you become a free agent, you can't go back to that, pay whatever you want to stay. I think the NFL should go to that, and then it'll be a lot less of this. But, if the man comes back in week 8 and plays the rest of the season, I'm cool with it. I think we're forgetting that our defense is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy is not going to affect it that much. I mean, he will affect it, yes. But that much? I don't know, man. Clemens, let him play. The more people play, the better they get. Let the man play. I think we're going to see some stuff out of him. Will McDonald, let that young man play. Because last year he came to practice on his skateboard. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, come on, Jets fans, give these guys a shot. If you put all your positive energy into these guys, they will perform for us.
And by the way, you talk about the first 8 weeks of the schedule, right? So, like, who could come, after the first 8 weeks? Like, okay, San Francisco's tough, no question. Okay, Buffalo's tough, week 6. Like, okay, at Pittsburgh is just always a difficult place to play. But, like, okay, so we have 2 really tough games of, like, all right, let's go. Not saying the Jets can't win them, that they're just like, you better have your chin strap buckled for at San Francisco and home for Buffalo. But besides that, Tennessee, New England, Denver, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, New England again. Like, if he's ready after the first 8 weeks, it sounds like we could use him a lot more against Houston, Miami twice, Buffalo again, the Rams. Like, I think there are plenty of games on that back half of the schedule. If that's all he's going to show up for, again, some people will say hopefully he shows up for a ton. But if he shows up for that, I think a lot of us go, okay, yeah, we prefer those if we were forced to pick.
And then if he wants to bet on himself, have him come in at that time and get 12 sacks by the end of the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
See
there you go. And then he's going to get paid by somebody. So God bless. See you, pal. Enjoy.
Yeah. My opinion is when you think glass half full, your answers come back glass half full. But when people are going in at glass half empty, then all your answers are going to be. It's like if you're an electrician, you walk into a room, you're not going to be looking at the paint. You'll be like, something's off. You're going to be looking at where the electrician wires are and if they're good and how much they're burnt. You know what I mean? So,
yes, right.
So when you go into something with the mindset, you're going to get the answer of the mindset you're going into. Guys, be positive. Come on, this is our year. Look, I went to the 98 team. I had season tickets. I went to every game.
Baby.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so amazing that I moved to Florida to talk shit, and then Vinny gets hurt. So see what I'm saying? So I understand when it comes to being positive. Something like that happens, you get crushed. I get it. But it's got to end, guys, and it ends this year. We got the quarter. Like, all right, this is what I want to do on my. If I had a show, this is what I would do.
Okay.
I would take every category in football, from quarterback to defense, secondary, all of that.
Okay.
And put the Jets on one side, and put the team they're going to play next on the other side, and ask the fans, who would you rather have, our quarterback or their quarterback? Their offensive line or our offensive line, and just keep going through. Like, you know how Madden.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I guarantee you, we will have more checks on our side than the other team practically almost every week.
Yeah.
So to sit here and worry about one guy, come on, guys. We're better than this. We are better than this as fans. Let's go.
I love that, Terrence. Love it. Thanks for calling in, brother.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
All right, there you go. Terrence joined us here on the show, and he's straight. Outside of maybe San Fran, and we could kind of like argue, like got Fred Warner, Quincy Williams, right? You could kind of flip a coin over some of those. Every other week, Jets are checking off a lot of boxes. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Brandon Badshaw here on the show. What's up, Brandon?
What's up? Sitting here in the car line. Just dropped my kiddo off, and so
okay, nice.
It's like a freaking NASCAR speedway up here.
It's almost like you gotta, from what I've heard in movies and stuff, you almost have to like throw. I've not gotten to that stage yet, but you have to like almost throw the kid out, stop, drop, and roll, and then keep driving because other cars are like, get your ass moving.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's like,
good Lord,
people flying around and people in minivans, just like taking kids out, and you're just like, throw your kid out and floor it,
I can't wait for that. That'll be good times.
Well, first off, I just want to ask you, I see you got your Syracuse gear on today.
Damn straight.
So, everybody talks about the GOAT being Tom Brady.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the GOAT is Jim Brown.
There you go. Yes.
So I got to ask you though, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite player? Who's the guy that, like, if you had to pick one, who you got?
All time?
All time.
Oh boy. I mean,
Doesn't
my
have to
heart.
be the best. Doesn't have to be like the best player, obviously. Just your favorite.
Sure. Yeah, I will say, and God rest his soul, I've had the pleasure of hanging out with several times Floyd Little. Again, unfortunately, he tragically passed away. He was suffering from a disease, and he's not on this earth anymore. But I was covering a Syracuse game because I used to cover all the games before COVID and be at every football game in the press box. And someone came up behind me and put their hands on my shoulder. And I was like, oh, boy, like, who the hell is this? And I turn around, it's Floyd Little and his wife. Yeah, they're just coming to hang out. And he was just saying, what's up? And I was just like, holy friggin' crap. And he's come to our radio show before. He's let me, like, put on his Hall of Fame ring and take pictures with him. And, oh, man, he's, like, the coolest guy of all time. So Floyd would be up there. Jim Brown is awesome. Man, Syracuse just had some dudes. Marvin Harrison Sr., Dwight Freeney, Tom Coughlin was a Syracuse running back here way back in the day. I mean, they just had cool guys. But if I had to, off the gut, it would have to be Floyd Little.
Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, that's true. A former running back picking a running back. That shouldn't, I guess, be that surprising. All right, I think we lost Brennan here. Let me try to bring him down and then bring him up here. Brandon, do you got us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we got you back. We lost you there for a second, so go ahead. We missed you.
Yeah, I could hear you. I was sitting there like talking up a storm. I said,
okay, yeah. All of a sudden you went quiet, and I was like, Brandon? Like, okay, there you go.
Yeah, if I'm quiet, I've either lost connection or I'm dead. I did not know. I didn't know that Tom Coughlin played.
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to like double check, but I think it was the three in the room. Nah, I gotta double check now. Coughlin was there in like the 60s, I think. I gotta double check who else was in his running back room at Syracuse because he had some dude. It might have been Larry Zonka. That's another Pro Football Hall of Famer that was there. I gotta like double check his years and then I can check the Syracuse roster. So, okay, let's see here. He undrafted out of Syracuse, didn't get drafted, was a GA. So yeah, he was in the 60s. So let me get the Syracuse football roster. From like I don't know, 1968 maybe. So let's see. Let me see. This should come up quick. Who else was in that gosh darn backfield? All right, so Tom Coughlin, where the hell are you, buddy? Oh man. All right, let's see. Let's go 1969. I guess I know he's right around here somewhere. He should be somewhere on this roster. Where do we got him? Man, it's not coming up. I thought I have the year right here. Tom Coughlin, 68. Yeah, you should. Oh, maybe it's 67. Maybe I went the wrong way. Okay, let me go to 67 here real quick and see if this comes up for him. Let's see.
Now, didn't Tom Coughlin, didn't he have a daughter that married Chris Snee, the right guard?
Yes, that's right. The Giants player. That's 100% right. So, oh yeah, baby. He did a little bit of that action. That's for sure. So he was kind of all over the place. He was all over the place in terms of he was doing that as well. Oh yeah, here it is. He was teammates with Larry Zonka and Floyd Little. There you go. Talk about that backfield. Wow. Tom Coughlin, Larry Zonka, Floyd Little. But I knew I'd find it eventually. So yeah, there you go.
I'm like sitting here like pulling your daughter like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
which is a good one. That. Yeah. Let me get that video playing. There we go.
Wow.
That's right. So that's unbelievable. So see, I'm dropping facts.
Well, I was gonna tell you. So this morning I get on. I'm reading the description of the video, and it's talking about Corey Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Paul, do we really not have anything better to talk about? Which I am hearing about Hassan Reddick. I'm getting tired of all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then you get me thinking and completely redeem yourself because I'm like, I'm like, why are we talking about Corey Davis? I'm telling you, I was sitting here thinking. I was sitting here thinking when Ricky was when he was on earlier. Do you think that if he hadn't retired, Corey Davis hadn't retired last year, or left, whatever you want to call it, do you think we would have made the playoffs? Do you think some of his catches he would have caught more than Alan Lazard? We all know that. I mean, I could have went out there in my scooter and caught more passes than Alan Lazard did last year. So I'm just thinking, I've got two questions. So either do you think we could have made the playoffs with him? Yes or no? And if not, do you think we would have even kept him? Do you think we would have he would have still been on the team this year? Say he had played last year, do you think we would have moved on, or what's your take?
So I'll go to the second one first. I think he would have moved on, probably. I think after the year, the Jets probably would have let him go, and then he continues his NFL career and goes signs with somebody, and the Jets just go in a different direction. Although the Jets love him, so I mean, I'm sure they would have tried because, again, outside of something horrendous happening and him being some cancerous guy in the locker room, which doesn't seem like that's in his repertoire. The Jets staff loves him. Everybody loves him on that team. So I'm sure they would have attempted to do so, but I think he would have moved on probably. He would have played out his year and just went in a different direction because it seems like obviously he must be pissed about the Lazard thing. I don't even know. But in terms of the playoffs, no. I mean, he would have helped in a few more key situations where he had some brutal drop here, there, and the other, but no. Is he enough to make a difference of what was the team that made it like 10 wins was Pittsburgh? Is it enough for 3-win difference? No. As much as I like Corey Day, I don't think it would be enough of that kind of difference.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm still thinking like back when we had 16 games. Now that you've got 17, and aren't they wanting to go up to 18 games? Which I mean, if they've got more games, that's more football I can watch. So that's
exactly. That's how I look at it, to be honest. I mean, I know the safety and health protocols and all that, but more games is another regular season game I'm getting fired up about. So sure, add that to the pile.
Well, and just one more thing I wanted to mention on. I know I'm always on here talking about Madden and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The new Madden game is amazing. I think it's better than the college football game.
Wow.
Now, I think the running controls are better. They've kind of mixed it up where you can kind of like do a juke and a spin, like you can do combos. Like the combos are more fluid and they look better and whatnot. So,
okay, interesting, because Tim Fishman, he called in and he said he hated the running, so that's interesting. Okay.
I know. Now, I will say, like, because we were talking on the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't have live, so Tim plays, like, Tim would smoke me. Like, I'm not that good. I'm more of, I think your buddy Nick that you had on yesterday, a while back, he kind of said, he's like, I'm more of like playing the franchise. Like, I'm the same way. I'm more of like being an owner. Like, I get on there and I control all 32 teams, and I raise like the tickets and everything up for New England and Dallas. Like, I raise all their ticket prices, their concession prices up.
That is hilarious.
And so anyway, I like it. Now, Tim, he's playing, maybe go
That's
off.
Fair.
Maybe what Tim says, like, I'd maybe take his word over mine, but I've watched and I've played, and golly, this guy next to me is like racing.
I could hear it. He was like, I've had enough of you, pal.
But yeah, I think the game, I think it's a lot better. And that being said, I'm mixing that in with the Hassan Reddick thing. When you get on Madden and you're just going through and looking at the players we have on our team.
Sure.
I mean, I'm just like, golly, like I can't. It looks like back in the day when I would get on franchise and like add all these awesome players to the Jets. Like, I mean, that's what our roster looks like. And, we've got Hassan Reddick. We've got him on the team. We don't know if he's going to show up. But we've got Will McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Who have you been hyping up? You have always been hyping up Michael Clemens.
Yeah.
You know what? sometimes I think you know what you're talking about. I think you're there. So we've got Will McDonald, Michael Clemens. If Hassan Reddick, worst case scenario, doesn't show up, we've got Quinnen, like you were saying earlier. We've got the Squirrel Eater. We've got Solly. We've got Fotu.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. JETS, Jets. Watch that Quincy Williams documentary if you hadn't yet.
Yes, I got to get on that. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks.
There he is. Yeah, I got to catch up on Origins. I got to catch up on the One Jets drive this week. Good Lord. I've failed everybody. I'm so sorry. I have to do it. I know. I just got to bang out the time to do it. Let's go back. We got a couple more calls. We'll wrap them up, and then I'll run over to the radio station. Let's go FL Phil 98 here on the show. What's up, brother?
Good morning, Boy Green. I'm going to be real quick today.
Okay.
I only called in because you brought up the topic of who to stay healthy for the whole season.
Oh yes,
and Phil really went there with Quinlan because we all think of the flash guys all the time, and man, we talk about the defensive line, and they never really talk too much about him, right? We're all talking about the edge rushers and whether Clemens can grow and McDonald can grow. How good can Kinlaw be when he's playing next to Quinlan? So, shout out to Phil. I think he's right. I think if there's one dude on this team, he's an unsung hero. We don't talk about him enough. That's the guy.
I think you're right. He's just a stud. And he's so stud that we just stop talking about him. Like, of course he's a stud, and we just kind of assume, and then we talk about other things. You're 1,000% right. And I think if you take that cog out of the machine, all of a sudden this great, well-oiled defense all of a sudden starts choo 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 choo. You're like, oh, the Quinn.
And you know what else? He keeps his mouth shut, does his job.
100%. Every time I heard him on NFL Network. They were interviewing him and saying, "Hey, wow, you only had 5.5 sacks last year. What do you say to the doubters or haters?" He's like, "Well, I saw my other teammates got a lot of sacks. We were top 7 in the league in sacks, so they got the sacks. I'm fine." And I was like, "Wow, the ultimate team guy." Like, not everyone would say that. Others would go like, "Yeah, I need to get back to 12, 13, 14." Like him, no, 5.5. As long as I'm getting pressures and my other teammates are getting numbers, we're good. I don't care about the individual stuff. He just says that all the time. And it's so boring, but so awesome. It's a great team answer to me.
And the only other thing I wanted to jump on with, last week I watched a little bit of the 411.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Dre that was on there talking about Chad Pennington. And he was kind of gushing a little bit. And they hit the Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You." And I'm thinking, if they don't mind you pirating that might be a good thing when Aaron Rodgers comes up with B-Mac. Just hit it for a second. And,
that would be very fitting. I'd love that. I got to put that in the notes. Phil. That'd be good.
All right, man. Love you, Paul. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it. All right. Let's get one more call in before we go in. And we got the approval from the 411. LOL, yes. That's hilarious. All right. Let's go to our another emoji king. It is EZ joining us here on the show. What's up, EZ?
How you doing? You see me?
Yeah. I got you loud and clear, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching some stuff this morning on TV. I simulcast my phone onto my TV, and I was watching a Jets X Factor breakdown, and it was showing Braylon Allen those 2 big runs.
Yeah.
Man, if you watch the runs, he hits the guy at first contact. He got 6 to 7 yards after first contact on both of those runs. He's a beast.
Yeah, he just lowers his shoulder.
And then on Jake Asman, this one knucklehead comes on. He's like, "Oh, but he's too slow." I'm like, it doesn't matter if he's too slow. A tank's not as fast as an Indy car, but it'll run your ass over.
And plus, I'm going to be honest, on the it wasn't a sweep. I was wrong. I rewatched the game. It was a halfback stretch play off the left tackle. Like, it seemed like he had plenty of speed.
Did you see that block by Olu? Did you see the block by Olu?
Wasn't it awesome?
Oh, my God. He almost pancaked the guy.
And people questioned Olu's ability in run blocking, saying, "I don't know, he's kind of questionable." He looked pretty good to me.
If you're good, you're good. I mean, Mekhi Becton just was. I don't know what it was with Mekhi. I think once he got that second injury, he would just play scared. That's what I think it was. I think he just played scared. By the way, where is he? Who's got him? Is he playing?
Mackay? Yeah, he's in Philadelphia, and the bad news for Mackay is I've been seeing a headline every other day that Mackay Becton's been throwing up in practice. So, like, I don't know if that's an out of shape thing. I don't know how much different the weather is in Philadelphia than it is in New York, but I'm reading headlines every other day that he's still throwing up like 2 weeks into practice. Not good.
Hey, Steamin' Willie Beeman threw up, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't every given Sunday. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
He gets so nervous and throw up, and then throw a touchdown. So who cares?
Yeah. So as long as he's delivering, I guess, then he's good.
So, Connor McGovern, is he still out there?
He is. He is still available.
Or was claimed by anybody here?
Nope. He's a veteran, so
You
there's
think
no
after
claiming
the
or
Jets-
anything like that. He's a straight up free agent.
But what I'm saying is, do you think after the Jets cut the roster down, they may grab him or something for a practice squad just in case?
I think that relationship is probably severed. So if he doesn't make the Eagles roster, which is possible, I don't know. I haven't spoken to anyone in Philadelphia over there. I know a couple of people over there, so I can do some digging. But if he does not make it, I think he will try to start his career elsewhere just because it seemed like he had a bad rub with the offensive line coach. The Jets kept him. It just seems like there's some issues there and that it's probably separated. I mean, I wouldn't mind the depth on a practice squad, but I just don't think I don't think he's coming back.
He's a very serviceable veteran if he's still even wants to play, you know?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be willing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed with having really good centers. I mean, some teams are blessed with quarterbacks. Like Green Bay was always blessed with having good quarterbacks, and we've always been blessed with having good centers for some reason.
Yeah, which has been great. Yeah, 18 years of it between Kevin Mawai and Nick Mangold back-to-back. Terrific. Some teams are just lucky at certain positions. You talked about Green Bay, potentially 3 quarterbacks in a row here and everything else. So some Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, and they had that great run. So you never know, man.
Well, I think Joe Tippmann's going to be pretty good.
I hope so.
I think hasn't he gotten his snaps under control the past week?
He did. Yep. He had him under control in the game, and we haven't seen him in practice. Again, today will be another test, I suppose, joint practice in Carolina, but yeah, we'll see.
Oh, if he would have screwed up a snap in practice, it'd have been all over. Because,
100%. So we haven't seen it.
The vultures are out there.
Oh, they are, for sure.
Yeah. And how's Malachi Corley?
He's been looking great, which is good.
They've questioned his route running a little bit. I think they want him to crisp that up a little bit. But his awareness and his drive and his commitment are 100%.
Yeah, they've brought up the route running like at every layer of the offseason. I mean, this is back in the spring. Sauer brought it back up in training camp. So, like, they've pounded that rock very obviously to the media. But the other stuff, to your point, have been all spectacular. So I still think Xavier Gibson is your starting slot. I think Malachi can slowly make up ground in due time. I would be surprised if Malachi was the starting slot week 1, but that's totally fine. He was a 3rd-round draft choice, a first pick of the 3rd round. He'll eventually get there. But Saleh did say, despite all the route running stuff, that quote-unquote, Corley will be a big part of the offense this year. So they've got plans and creative ways to get him the football, I think.
I could see Corley in on plays where it's like 3rd and goal from like the 5 or 7 yard line. Because he's one of those guys you could throw him the ball after 2 or 3 yards and he could muscle his way into the end zone because he's that kind of a player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have an absolute role on the team.
No doubt.
Like I said, like third and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4. That's perfect for him in the slot to just get the ball and muscle in those extra yards.
I agree.
That's like a perfect situation for him.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
All right, man. I'm going to get off this. You still have a couple of callers, and I don't know if you have to go to the radio station, but you have a good day, buddy.
All right, thank you. Easy OC. Let's throw them up. Let's throw up the emojis in here for Easy. I'll be doing it right now. There you go on the screen, baby. Easy OC, baby. Forever immortalized. And thank you to everyone who called into the show. Let me give you one of these. Thank you to the 500 plus people, 530 if I'm being specific, for joining today's morning show. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe down below, spread the gospel of Boy Green Daily. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. I love doing this. I love growing the Boy Green community every single day. We'll be back live coming up at 3 o'clock. I'm still working on a guest. I'm trying to get someone from Carolina. I know a couple people in Carolina, but they're in the middle of the joint practice and covering the Panthers. So I'm trying to get someone who's close enough, but not too close where they'll have time to join us on the show. So we'll see if I'm able to grab someone. Either way, we'll be on, me and Woody, coming up at 3 o'clock. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys, again, like the video, hit subscribe. If you'd like to join the Boy Green Coffee Club, which gives you a loyalty badge, which gives you access to our emoji collection, which is terrific. And finally, access to the Discord. Make sure you go to the link down below and hit join the Boy Green Coffee Club to join our community. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple hours at 3 o'clock for Boy Green Meets Woody. God bless, everybody.